foolish mortals.
Hello there. Are you insane? Get out of here!
Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened.
Right, off you go.
Welcome to Average Joe Orlando. Hello, theme park goers. Welcome to our front row review, tongue twister, of SeaWorld Orlando's holiday offerings. I'm excited to do this one because SeaWorld does a really good job for Christmas. I think I've spoken about it a few times on this podcast about how it's my favorite thing that they do all year. And it's definitely one of those things that they do really well, and they continue to do really well, and I hope they do. Now, there has been some changes in the past few years we'll talk about, and some things that were left and came back, and some new things. But yeah, we're going to talk about all the offerings over at SeaWorld Orlando and what they have in store. So let's dive right in. You might hear some clicking because I'm going through my computer. I know them all by heart. I usually come up with a script or a thing to go off of, at least for these podcasts, but I like to kind of play off of some of the things and kind of talk about them. But SeaWorld Christmas, now I will say it's not like Universal's where it goes on every day no matter what. It's definitely one of those things that it's only on specific days. They'll do everything. So it starts on November 16th and runs through January 5th. However, I do advise with this one checking the calendar before you go to see if they're offering everything. They'll do like their Sea of Trees. The decorations will be up. However, they won't usually do like their different shows or special offerings. They'll kind of do a SeaWorld Christmas Light on certain days. And it's usually Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays where the major stuff runs. And then during those peak weeks, so like Thanksgiving week and Christmas week is when all the big stuff will happen. So check the app. Always check before you go. I always go nuts when I see people like buying tickets at 3 o'clock. And I'm like, guys, the park closes at 6. Did you not do any research? Some people don't. But if you're spending that much money, do your research. What I like too about SeaWorld Christmas as well as Universal Christmas is everything's included. Now they do have upsells, so like if you want better seats for the, one of the shows or the fireworks or food, they'll offer those, and at Universal they'll do a tour. However, for this one, really wanted to deep dive just what there is offered and everything you could do with your price of admission. So if you have a fun card, which is a really good deal, obviously you'd have to pay for parking with the fun card, unless you have somebody that you know that has free parking. But everything's included, which is great. But let's kind of talk about what goes on over there, starting with the shows and entertainment. So they do have different things this year, and I'm going to read off some of the descriptions and talk about some of the things that I have seen with them. So this one is new. I've never watched this one, probably because it's for kids. I don't know what year this one started, but it's called Mrs. Claus's Magic Kitchen, which is get ready for a jolly good time in this hilarious holiday cooking show. Join the one and only Mrs. Claus as she trades in her cozy Christmas sweater for a chef's apron and takes over social media. Takes over social media with her famous Christmas cookie recipes. Let's take a turn. From sugar cookies to gingerbread masterpieces, Mrs. Claus spills the North Pole's sweetest secrets while trying to keep up with the latest social trends. What the heck? Yeah, I don't know what the heck that one is. But I guess Mrs. Claus is funny and a social media star. That seems like a weird one. And also, it looks like it's in the old pet show theater, which used to be really cute because they had, anything with like dogs running around, especially when all the dogs were rescues. I was like, I want to go here. But this seems interesting. I'm not going to put this on my to-do list for you. However, I guess if you need something to do, give it a try. Maybe Mrs. Claus's Magical Kitchen. Oh, well, hello. Is great. But I wonder what social trends she keeps up with. I'd like to see Mrs. Claus do a TikTok dance. I'd go if she does that. All right, I'm in. The next one. Okay, so going from that one to the next one is A Wondrous Night. Now, this one was around for a while, fan favorite. People would line up for it. And then it disappeared for a few years and they put a different show in. And I think there was such feedback that they brought it back. It is a very big budget show. The description reads, a returning fan favorite. Here's the greatest story never told with over 30 carolers, life-size puppets, and live animals in a signature show that will charm, entertain, and delight people from all walks of life. Now, that doesn't even do it justice. Basically, there's a giant gospel choir that sings live, and think like Sister Act 2, like songs, like they get into it, and the music is great. And even if you're not a religious person, the show's fantastic because it's just good for everybody. Like it says, good for all walks of life. It tells the first story of Christmas, so the night Jesus was born. However, it tells it from the animal's perspective, and it starts off with puppets, and they talk about how like the bird, she's like a New Jersey bird. Like she's like, yeah, I was there the first day the Jesus was born. And it's very strange. So don't let that turn you off, because at the beginning you're like, why are the animals puppets and why do they have accents? But then they kind of tell like their perspective. But then it ends with, spoiler alert, Jesus being born, and that's when it's the first, like the nativity scene they recreate for the first Christmas, and camels and donkeys and sheep and goats and all these animals get walked through the audience onto the stage, and it's really cool. It's just a really like upbeat, fun show. It has different elements. Like I said, the puppets are like the only part that I'm like, that's a little cheesy, but it does work for telling the story. Highly recommend A Wondrous Night. Now, this is one of those that they do sell upgrades, so if you want to get better seats. However, it is a great theater, and I think any seat's really good. If you go during Halloween, this is the one where the slasher show is. So, wow, what a change in pace from the holidays. They do holiday photos with Sesame Street friends. So it says, make memories and get a photo with your favorite furry friends in festive holiday attire. Meet your Sesame Street friends and photos with Elmo and friends throughout the day, and friends. So you can get the pictures with them, but they also have a show. There is Elmo's Christmas Witch, which has come back. Join Cookie Monster, Rosita, Grover, and Zoe as they help Elmo find his Christmas wish. Families are sure to be singing and dancing along while watching this fun holiday show. Enjoy performances in the Seaport Theater. So that's another show that has come back for a few times. On select nights, they do have the fireworks finale. So this is another one of those things that, like, on certain nights, they only have this, and they only have, like, the shows. They will do, like, the Sea of Trees, which we'll get to. But the Holiday Reflections fireworks finale. Each Christmas celebration night, SeaWorld celebrates the season during Holiday Reflections fireworks finale, featuring dazzling lights and festive fireworks, choreographed to joyous holiday music favorites. Experience an amazing SeaWorld connection that illuminates the night sky at park close on Christmas gathering nights through December 31st. SeaWorld, don't expect a Magic Kingdom style fireworks show. However, they do actually, when they do a fireworks show, they do it very well. The music is fun with it. The Sea of Trees light up with it. Typically, I've noticed they'll do the last ice skating show, and it'll lead right into this, which is great because you're already kind of seated for that show, and it's basically like, and now going to this. So it's kind of a cool that you don't have to get up and move, just stay and seated. So SeaWorld, I've definitely vented about it before, isn't known for their efficiency, but I could say like this one, how the way that they do this at the end of the night is great. However, if you are staying for the fireworks, get ready to fight the crowds on the way out because it's tight pathways through there and very busy getting out. Sesame Street Christmas Parade. So they do the Sesame Street parade during the day, but they do a holiday layover, which is pretty cool because the parks used to always do that. When I first came down here, I remember going to Disney and Jam and Jungle turned into Jingle Jungle. So it's kind of nice that they do this. The Sesame Street Christmas Parade features fantastic festively? That's an interesting word. Festively decorated floats with show-stopping performances that celebrate the magic of the holiday season. The whole family will experience an energetic Christmas celebration with Elmo, Cookie Monster, Abby Cadabby, Big Birds, Bert, Ernie, Grover, and more of your Sesame Street friends. The whole family is sure to sing, dance, and be merry as they get into the holiday spirit with everyone's favorite furry friends. There's a spelling error on this one. Somebody, if anybody knows anybody that works for, it shouldn't be holiday spirit, ! Lowercase with every. I'll let it slide because my spelling and grammar is not that great. Also, I can read the word festively without having to read it twice. They also do snow flurries at the waterfront. So if you've ever been to like Disney Springs when they do the snow flurries, or as we down here in Florida call it Snope because it's actually soap. So snow soap, get it? But it's the same letter. Anyway, snow flurries at the waterfront. As you stroll through the waterfront, experience spectacular snow flurries, marching toy soldiers, a ballerina, and even some of Santa's favorite helpers. Now, down by the waterfront, this is more so where the Flamecraft bar is, or as one of my friends call it, the Flamethrowers bar. They do a little like area over there. It's a very tight, small area. However, it's a nice little area to watch this going on. Now, the Sea of Trees, I alluded to this earlier. Take a walk through a wintry, watery wonderland. A lot of like same letters, and immerse yourself in the expansive holiday sea of trees located in SeaWorld's lagoon. The glistening forest sparkles to music and lights up the water and your eyes, and with 360-degree views from around the park. As the lights dance to holiday classics, your heart will soar and wonder and delight at this truly awe-inspiring Christmas treat. Plus, a magnificent centerpiece towers 70 feet above the water. So this is the Sea of Trees. As I mentioned, this happens basically every night, regardless of the celebration going on. And these are all the trees that are spread out along the lagoon. And they reflect and they dance. Very kind of like Osborne family dancing lights back in the day. But very cool. And it works because they also have them go off randomly. You don't really have to line up. They just kind of happen here and there. They'll dance to the music. And it also goes in sync with the fireworks, which is nice. And they make for a great backdrop for the ice skating show. Speaking of the ice skating show, during the day, they do public ice skating at Bayside Stadium. So that's their big outdoor stadium that they have that they really don't use during the year much and until like this event. So guests can now experience outdoor ice skating at Bayside Stadium. You and your family can skate alongside the water of SeaWorld's Central Lagoon throughout the day in our beautiful winter wonderland. Additional charge required, which include rental ice skates. All guests must wear crew-length socks and gloves. Socks and gloves can also be purchased, so bring them with you because they're probably expensive. Guests are not permitted to bring ice skates into the park. Probably for the better. First come, first served basis. Now, this is something they started a few years ago because they already have an ice rink, and it's a large ice rink. It's not like that one that they're doing at Jollywood this year. It's like a legit ice rink outside. So during the day, they let you ice skate, which is pretty cool because you don't really get to do that much in Florida. But during the night, it turns into Winter Wonderland on ice. Christmas comes to life on a stage of ice, jewels, and lights. Sure, mostly ice though, as skaters dazzle and delight in a show-stopping ice skating extravaganza. A sea of sparkling trees, told you, and towering fountains dancing in the background come together to create a don't-miss experience for the holidays that the entire family will enjoy. Now, if you're an ice skater, you're probably like, well, they're doing basic moves, and it's a little cheesy. Yeah, but guess what? It's Christmassy, and we like it. And two penguins come out, and they do the hot chocolate song from the Polar Express. So that's what we're all there for. It's fun. Like I said, if you have a seat for the last one, generally it'll bleed right into the fireworks, which is perfect. Also, if you haven't seen this, spoiler alert, the last number, he swings this girl around by her ankles and she almost touches the ice, and it's I don't know if you want to look away and just watch everybody's reaction, or it's a lot. Very, very trustworthy people. Go nuts. Good show. Recommend it. Oh, Wondrous Night and Winter Wonderland on ice. Worth the price of admission. Now for characters, as I mentioned earlier, they have all the Sesame Street characters, but there's also Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So returning for another year of festive fun, guests can immerse themselves in the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer at Rudolph's Christmas Town. Stroll past life-size storybook vignettes featuring the classic tale and meet the beloved characters, including Rudolph and Bumble. Now, this is from that claymation one. If you ever watched those back in the day that everybody always says are old and nobody knows when they were made. This is Rudolph. They have Bumble, who's the abominable snowman. In the past, I've seen Yukon Cornelius there. Don't quote me. I don't know if he still comes out. One time I saw the old snowman, the one that kind of narrates it, and Clarice, his girlfriend. So they have all those characters, which is nice because they're the only place that you could ever see these characters. So it's kind of cool that SeaWorld has them. And for another one that they can meet Santa Claus at the Wild Arctic gift shop. So Wild Arctic is that building that really doesn't get used much, but it's kind of cool inside. SeaWorld invites you and yours to meet the Arctic's most famous resident, Santa Claus. Santa is visiting from 12 p.m. until park close, now through 12:24 at the Wild Arctic gift shop. And it says included with park admission, which is pretty cool. It does have a thing where you could make a reservation and skip the line. So you want to make sure you go on there to possibly make a reservation, and then the skip the line people are going to be paying. So they're going to be cutting in front of you, and you're going to be waiting a while. I will say that line usually does move very slowly, but it is cool they have a meet and greet. The next one, an elf story. Now, I don't know much about this one, but you can gather around the fire and hear some classic tales of Christmas, plus see them do some remarkable things with their storytelling objects. They may even ask little ones to help them with their storytelling. That description tells me nothing. Let's move on. Big birds Christmas story time. A lot of stories going on. Gather around Big Bird's nest to hear some of his favorite stories during story time with Big Bird, happening at select times throughout the day. Now, they do this already during the normal day, where in Sesame Street Land, Big Bird will come over into his nest and read a story, but now it's a Christmas story. And if you haven't noticed, SeaWorld will lean more into the Christmas when the other parks are very like, holiday. SeaWorld's like, no, it's Christmas, let's go. So, very Christmassy. Now, the trains are called holiday trains. They'll be marvel at captivating miniature Christmas train set, beautifully adorned with twinkling lights, charming villages, and seasonal cheer. It's a delightful display that will transport you into a wintry wonderland right outside of Dolphin Nursery. These descriptions describing, well, I wish I was this good. But they have all these different things going on with the displays, and you can go and see the holiday trains. So like I said, there's a lot of good atmosphere to just walk around. They are also doing other festivities as the season progresses. So they'll be doing Hanukkah actually as well over at December 25th through January 2nd. So they're going to be doing a menorah lighting at Sesame Street Land. The menorah lighting will be shining at SeaWorld Orlando this holiday season. Come gather your family and friends to view the lighting of the menorah in Sesame Street Land. That's new. I haven't heard of them doing that. Maybe they have. Then December 26th through January 1st is the Kwanzaa festivities, another experience returning for the holidays this year. So it is returning. SeaWorld celebration of Kwanzaa taking place December 26th through January 1st. I probably don't know this because that's like the busiest week, and I will avoid theme parks during that week. But if you are there, you can be part of the guests that can enjoy a joyous time of reflection and celebration of African heritage with the nightly lighting of the, I'm going to butcher this word, Kinaran? I can't say words. I'm struggling. In Sesame Street Land. Oh, everything's in Sesame Street Land. Interesting. Then New Year's Eve, which they put on here as December 31st, if you didn't know. Embrace our connection to the sea, marine life, and the world we share with ringing in the new year SeaWorld style, whatever that means. We're giving 2025 a wondrous welcome with bold fireworks, festive entertainment, and more. See our park schedule for a full lineup of evening entertainment on SeaWorld's New Year's Eve. And then right after the holidays, they do the Three Kings celebration, which is January 4th through 6th, in honor of a cherished tradition of Latin cultures. Families are invited to help us commemorate the arrival of the three wise men, enjoy festive cuisine, and extended opportunities to enjoy special performances in the Nautilus Theater, Sea Trees, and our festival holiday lights. Keep the spirit of the holidays burning brighter and longer than ever with this special event from January 4th through 6th. So as you can see, they do things longer, and they do celebrate other holidays as well, just in a smaller capacity, not taking over the entire park. But I will say SeaWorld does it much longer when you look at Universal, which basically ends on the 30th of December. This one will go all the way through the Three Kings Day. But let's chat a little bit more, too, about some of the food offerings. So now they do kind of turn a lot of their festivals into more of a food festival. So aside from having their rides open and all the new entertainment and everything, back in the past, they did have a village. So this is where this pipeline coaster is. So if you know the surf coaster, that used to be their little village. I was really upset when they demolished it to build pipeline. So now, instead of having a village, everything is more smattered around the park, including the food. So they have a festive food and sip sampler, and it says with more than 40 tasty treats and drinks to choose from, sampling packages are a great value if you're going to eat. And then they allow you to try a combination. So they'll do like a lanyard where you get like little stamps in there. They also do upsell things where you could dine with Santa. They do a Sesame Street Christmas breakfast. And then they have cookies and milk featuring a special guest. But I will tell you, it doesn't say who the special guest is. So I wonder if it's Shamu in like a hat. But that's what they have right now for here. They also, on their website, if you go, they'll have their seasonal specials of all their different food items. They have a lot of different items each year. I will say they did step up their food. Sometimes their lines are very long and their efficiency is low, but it's up to you if you want to wait. But they have the cookies section, which they have fun drinks. They have the Eggnog Delight, which is a frozen eggnog. They have deep dish cookies. They also can make drinks jolly, which basically means adding alcohol. So like for this one, like you'd add peppermint schnapps or Baileys or Kahlua to any of the drinks to make them jolly. So that's kind of a cool thing. They'll do their baking one where they have a creamsicle gingerbread cake, mistletoe lamb chops. They'll also have different fun cocktails such as the maple bourbon sour or their North Pole Cosmo. And then they'll also bring back their beignets. So they'll have their Oreo and Bananas Foster's beignet. They have a gingerbread martini. That sounds fun. Christmas comforts, they're returning their Not Santa's Milk and Cookies, which is rum chata, vanilla vodka, cinnamon, garnished with ginger snap crumbs. They're making really fun drinks. That can go either way. And then this one also has their specialty hot cocoa. I know back in the day, they'd always have a really good hot toddy. For some reason, they always made the best one. They have their different cocos, their waffles, and then they have their bars as well, where they could have specialty cocktails such as coquito, margaritas, mules, bourbons, a donut one that they do every year, different beers. They're always known for having all their different beers. There's our hot toddy. It's called Toddin' Around, which doesn't have hot toddies. That's interesting. But they do have an iced honey pumpkin cider this year. Jack Daniel's honey, pumpkin spice, apple cider, sour, you lost me, and ginger ale. Okay. And then they have different areas all around that you can get different snacks. So a lot of different options over here for this event for food. So it's one of those that you could definitely go back a few times, especially if you get an annual pass, because it is a pretty good discount. Because the prices always go on sale. They always do a Black Friday sale, and then they'll do different sales probably for the holidays as it gets closer. So plenty of things to do, plenty of upsells if you want. They do obviously their holiday cups that you can get. As I mentioned, their food sampler, the Christmas dinner, like eating with Santa. They do their reservations where you can get in front of the line to go meet Santa, which starts at $19.99, so $20. You can go skating, or you can get your up close tours. Actually, this is new for A Wondrous Night, so you can go behind the scenes tour to get up close to the stables to see all the animals. So a lot to do. And then they have a new Christmas celebration VIP tour also, which will most likely get you VIP to seating for everything. However, it does start around $249 per person, which is not the cheapest. But yeah, a lot to do. Highly recommend. If you can go for at least one night just to check it out, I think you'd be impressed. Overall, I like it more than the Disney parties, and a one-day ticket is much cheaper than one to the Christmas parties. And usually you could buy a day, go for the rest of the year, fun card. So great value, great experience. Highly recommend SeaWorld's Christmas. I hope you get to try it out this year. I know I will be back. And with that, I will see you at the parks.
Thanks for taking a ride with Average Joe Orlando.
You made it!
I knew you would. Is everyone okay? Hope you still want to open an account.
Say cheese! See you later!
Thanks, everybody! You were brilliant!
At this time, gather up your personal belongings and take your small grubs by their grubby little hands as you exit. Thank you.